Welcome to Jeff's Changes for Life. Today, we dive into how to recognize sneaky, toxic people before it's too late. Another vital part of change and finding your peace. In this video, you're going to learn to discern who you're talking to, who you're dealing with, and how to go forward. And most importantly, how to recognize toxic people and what they're doing. Thanks for joining me. As always, I need to take care of the disclaimer. This program in no way, shape, or form is a substitute for anybody that requires professional, medical, or psychological attention or treatment. Have you ever met someone who seemed perfectly nice at first, but over time, you started to notice little things that didn't sit right? Maybe they never say anything outright cruel, but somehow you always feel a little worse after talking to them, or maybe they act one way with you and completely different with someone else. Toxic people aren't always obvious. Some of them are sneaky, but if you know what to look for, you can spot them before they have a chance to mess with your energy. Today, I'm going to break down the sneaky signs of toxic people and how to protect yourself from them. As we venture forward and ultimately go for our change that is desired, it's incredibly important that we maintain a peace. And toxic people can play a huge part of us not achieving the change that we want. They're disruptive. So it's incredibly important to be able to recognize the toxic person that you're dealing with. So the first one we're going to look at is the too nice, too fast act. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with being friendly, but some people take it to another level. If someone's going overboard with compliments, gifts, or attention right away, be cautious because they want to gain your trust fast. They're not being kind because they care. They're doing it because they want something from you. Maybe it's your loyalty, your secrets, or your influence. But once they feel like they have you, that nice act starts to fade. Real friendships and connections take time. If someone is love bombing you with attention, take a step back and see if their actions match up over time. Number 2, the passive-aggressive communicator. You ever met someone who says something that sounds nice, but somehow it still feels like an assault? Maybe an example. Wow, I didn't expect you to be this good at your job. You're so lucky things always seem to work out for you. I love how you just don't care what people think. See what they did there? It's sneaky. Instead of being directly rude, they wrap their negativity in a compliment so they can deny any bad intentions if you call them out. If you hear these types of statements often, pay attention. This is a classic toxic behavior. I'll give you an example from my own life. Someone explained a story about a young man at 22 years old who had been very financially successful, owned a yacht, different things like that, and concluded the story by looking over at me and said, well, I guess some of us just make something of our lives. Well, that put me in a quandary because if I pushed back as I did, then the response is what? I wasn't talking about you. Why are you so sensitive? So it's that hidden dig that people are putting out there. The third toxic person is the master of guilt tripping. A toxic person loves to make you feel guilty. They'll play the victim, twist situations, and make you feel like you owe them something, even when you don't. So an example of that might be, I guess I'm just not important to you. After everything I've done for you, this is how you treat me? Wow, must be nice to have the luxury to say no. See the pattern? They don't respect your boundaries and they make you feel bad for having them. A healthy person will understand when you say no. A toxic person will try to make you feel like you're the villain for it. Number 4, the gossip and information collector. Some toxic people don't attack directly. They just sit back and gather information. They'll act like your best friend, ask personal questions, and seem so interested in your life. But here's the catch: they're not sharing much about themselves. Why would they do that? Because they're collecting ammunition. They want to know your weaknesses, your struggles, your secrets, so they can use them against you later. And if they constantly talk about other people's business with you, guess what? They're doing the same thing behind your back. So I do have to go back to a previous episode in black and white. Stop talking about yourself. Stop sharing your opinions, because in the majority of the cases, people don't care. And in this case, they can use it against you. So a good rule: be careful what you share with someone who feels a little too interested in your personal life. Number 5, the situational chameleon. One of the sneakiest toxic traits. People who act differently depending on who they're around. They agree with everyone. Their opinions change depending on the crowd, and they always seem to be on both sides of the argument. They will tell you one thing, but you hear them say the opposite to someone else. They never take a clear stance on anything. They act sweet to your face, but are cold behind your back. Why do they do this? Because they're trying to stay in control. They don't want to be held accountable, so they shift and change based on what benefits them the most. So the key is to watch how people act in different situations. You'll learn a lot about who they really are. And I bring this back to something that my wife loves to do. She loves to sit and people watch. Just listen to what they're saying and how they act. You're going to learn a ton about that person. So how do we protect ourselves from sneaky, toxic people? Now that we've covered how to spot these sneaky, toxic behaviors, let's talk about what to do when you encounter them. Number 1, trust actions over words. People can say anything, but how do they act over time? Watch for patterns. Consistency tells the real story. Number 2, set boundaries and stick to them. If someone constantly makes you feel uncomfortable, don't be afraid to limit your time around them. You don't owe toxic people unlimited access to your life. Number 3, keep conversations neutral. If you suspect someone is sneaky, don't give them personal information they can use later. Keep it surface level until you can fully trust them. Number 4, and this is an important one, test their intentions. Want to know if someone is trustworthy? Give them a small, unimportant detail and see if it comes back to you from someone else. Toxic people can't resist spreading information. Number 5, and finally, walk away when necessary. Not everyone deserves a spot in your life. If someone constantly drains your energy, disrespects your boundaries, or plays mind games, you have every right to remove them from your space. So what would be our final takeaway? Toxic people don't always come with a warning label. Some of them are sneaky, but if you pay attention, the signs are always there. Remember, if someone is too nice too fast, be cautious. If they guilt trip, gossip, or manipulate, set boundaries. If they act differently around different people, watch out. Your peace of mind is priceless. Protect it. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever dealt with sneaky, toxic people? How did you handle it? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. And if this video helped you, hit the like button and subscribe for more life-changing content. Until next time, stay strong, stay aware, and protect your energy. As always, I'm Jeff with Jeff's Changes for Life, and today is gonna rock because we're working on ourselves, and I can't think of a better thing to do, especially when it helps us find our peace.